You know, it's upsetting. I would like to stick around for longer, but a lot of it is, you know, my availability and also the characters' availability. They've got a lot of mouths to feed on that show. You know, you've got the Flash, you've got every other supporting character, which, you know, after the first season become a lot more intricate, and they have these amazing storylines. So it's really nice to get to go up there and play for a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. But it would be nice to not die at the end.
Victor Garber has had a long and storied career, both in Canada and the U.S. So when you were playing opposite him or playing kind of as him, but as you, did he impart any kind of words of wisdom to you for like future?
Yeah. So Victor and I did a movie called The Hunters together, where we spent like 3 weeks hanging out in Vancouver, and 6 months later, Greg Berlanti was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about Victor Garber from Arkenstein." And I was like, please, I'd love to, that would be so much fun. Victor said yes, which was super cool. So he gets to town, we go out for dinner, and I'm reading the episode, or I read the episode, and I have to do my like Victor Garber impression, which is an actor's dream and nightmare, because you get to go do a Victor Garber impression, but you're doing a Victor Garber impression, and he's Victor Garber. So don't screw this up. And we go out for dinner, I'm like, Victor, so I was thinking, you know, like I started watching some of the stuff from Alias and Titanic, and he goes, Like, so I was thinking, you know, like something similar to that. He goes, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to play the character the way I want to. I'm like, great. Thanks, Victor. But that's just kind of who Victor is. He's super sarcastic and super witty, but he's also like the nicest guy in the world, and he had nothing but complimentary things to say to me after the scene, which was a huge relief and like a career highlight for me. Victor has become a good friend, and I would take advice from him about not only acting, but anything.
I always think these questions like such a compliment. We're just silent.
Victor, I mean, it makes
yeah,
sense.
that's what I hear.
What's it like being on Pretty Little Liars?
I did one episode. I was actually supposed to do a bunch more, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Tomorrow People, but I booked something, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I have to leave. And I couldn't do any more episodes because I wasn't in town. But I worked with, it just so happened, the director I worked with on Pretty Little Liars has now become a regular Arrow and Flash director, which is funny. I get to work with her all the time. She's directed a bunch of my episodes. She directed an episode of Chasing, her name is Wendy Stanzer. She did a couple episodes of Natalia's show, Chasing Life. It was cool. It was a great time. I've been very lucky in my career. I haven't had any bad situations or bad experiences on set. I've enjoyed everything I've worked on.
Let's go to the very back. Very back in the black, yep.
It is.
Next week.
She's got a big part in it, too.
Again, in the back. Yes, the red hat. Yep.
You're not allowed to say it. Oh. Deathstorm was more fun in a short period of time, but you're also kind of, you're overacting a little bit when you're playing, you know, a villain in that world, which is super cool for a little while, but I wouldn't have liked to have done that as a series regular. If you're going to give me the choice between a villain or a superhero, I'm going to take a superhero.
Yeah. I would take a villain.
I'm surrounded by, you would take a villain, you are a villain.
Cool. Yes, over here in the blue. Thank you.
Ooh. Supergirl has more money.
We have acted together in lots of things. We always do little sort of like cameos in each other's stuff. And we met on a movie 100 years ago. And then he did a little bit in his show. show I did also 100 years ago called Unnatural History. He did a little bit of Chasing Life. I did some True Jackson. I did a second in the Duff.
Yeah.
And so it's all, if you keep your eyes out, you'll see sort of whenever we're visiting, it's like, yeah, let's just throw them in the back of the scene.
Yeah. I played a total drug addict on
Yeah, he sells
one
my character
episode of
ecstasy
Chasing Life.
on Chasing Life, which is a real treat.
The weirdest role I've ever had.
In a pub.
I think Supergirl for a couple reasons. One, it shoots in LA, so we can shoot in beautiful sunny California rather than rainy Vancouver. Unless it's like July, and then it's a toss-up. And the other thing is I just haven't been on Supergirl yet, so it would be cool to come in and do something there.
I want to say The Flash because I really want to yell at Caitlin for taking her ring off so quickly. Like, he's dead, and then boom, gone. She's back on the market.
You wouldn't do that. All right. Yes, okay.
Did you get to keep any souvenirs from the set?
Oh, I steal stuff all the time.
I don't think stealing and getting a souvenir is the same thing.
You half steal it. You're like, it would be cool if I just like. And most of the time they're like. I can't take big things. Like I was never able to take a splicer from my Firestorm costume. But the crazy thing is,
Add it to the nightstand.
the weirdest stuff. A nerd's dream. It's great.
We should do like a mini YouTube skit on it.
I actually was at a con. I can't remember which one it was, and somebody brought me a splicer, and it was as good as the one that I use on the show. It was battery powered. It would light up. It was super impressive. And he was giving it to me. I'm like, I can't take this from you. I'm like, you put a lot of time and effort into this. He goes, I built it for you. Take it.
He's been having his hand up. He wants to go. Yeah.
Do you guys who took over for you at Firestorm?
Dangerous question. Franz is an awesome dude. I actually met him before they started shooting. They had to screen test him, so they flew him to Vancouver. And I was there shooting one of maybe the season 1 finale or season 2 premiere. I was either about to die or I was dying. I knew what was happening, and I was offered the chance to take Legends of Tomorrow, but it just didn't work out time-wise. But he needed to be a series regular for that show. So they asked me if it was cool, which it didn't actually matter what I said, but it was really cool that they asked me. And so the plan was to kill me and bring in a new Firestorm. And I met him. I'm a big fan of his. I love the movie Edge of Tomorrow. He's got a role in that. So we hung out for a little while, and I was, by the end of it, I was like, this is cool. Firestorm's in good hands. This is a nice change. So I'd say I'm definitely a fan of him. But it would be cool to show up on Legends of Tomorrow, since it's a time travel show, and just be the alternate Firestorm. You have Victor Garber playing 2 versions of himself, which he would hate. I can see it right now. They'd be like, Victor, you're playing 2 roles. He goes, well, am I getting 2 paychecks?
Okay, now I know Victor. He's the other guy first. Okay.
Thank you.
That's Corey in the front here. You guys can fight it out.
Of all the characters you ever played, which one was the most fun to play, and which one have you connected to the most?
I think I showed the most of myself in the Duff, not the first half of the movie. I actually almost didn't do the movie because of the first half. I just was like, this character is just so unapologetically douchey. I don't want to be this guy. But after reading it and a little convincing from my beautiful fiance, she was like, you should do this. This is going to be a good movie. And I talked with him, and I was like, I just want to be able to bring some of myself to the character. I want to be able to have fun with it. And the nice thing was I got paired up with Mae Whitman, who is so unbelievably talented and super, super, super funny. So we just tried to make each other laugh and make it feel as real as possible. So I'm sitting in rehearsals in Atlanta, getting ready for the Duff, and I'm sitting across from May, and I was like, May, I'm doing a movie immediately after this where your mom is my mom. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Lauren Graham's playing my mom, and she's like, oh my God, and she starts texting her, and she gets a text message picture of the pamphlet, spoiler alert, from my funeral. They're shooting my funeral scene that day on Max. And I was like, oh, please send that to me. And I texted my mom about it, and she's like, send it over. And I was like, I'm not sending you the pamphlet to my funeral. She's like, no, I want to see it. I'm like, I'm not sending it to you. You can see it when I'm home in person. I'm like, I sent it to you. You can have a full freak out. But working with May was awesome. Like I said, we really just try to make each other laugh. There's a scene where we're called Think Rock, where we're sitting just in the woods talking, and we ended up improvising like half of that scene. And at one point, I apologize to the kids in here, but she says something about a butthole, and it's my real laugh. I bust out laughing. The director comes up and goes, you can't say butthole. We're never going to make the movie. So she didn't say it in any other take, and they used the one take that she did because it was really fun. And then working with Lauren was literally me talking to her through a Skype computer. I got to do no scenes with her, but she was very sweet.
Yeah, right in the back. TV shows or movies?
I don't prefer one over the other. I like to work with good people and get to tell a good story, and I've been very, very lucky to be able to be a part of things that I've really enjoyed working on. But I am really looking forward to working with friends. Like I said, my cousin and Jeff and I and all the people that are sitting here in the front room, we've all developed a great relationship, and we want to work together. And that's something that's really fun to me, getting to do what I love with people I enjoy spending time with. Thanks.
We're going to have time for 2 more quick questions. Over here.
What was your favorite scene to shoot in Flash TV?
Favorite scene in Flash
Not dying. No, it would have been the team-up episode with Steven and Grant. That was super cool. There was also a fun day of shooting green screen stuff where Grant and I were flying through the air when we actually had a fight a little earlier on in the season, which was super cool.
Okay, you pick the last.
Who's had their hand up since the very, very beginning?
Well,
We got a few people pointing at you. Sorry, everyone else. Thanks for that.
I didn't want to be the last one.
Okay, this is more awkward, so it's not really a straightforward question. But I was just wondering, being Canadian born, Canadian actor, moved out to LA, done a lot of movies and stuff. Do you have a special spot in your heart for Canadian shows? And what do you think about the Canadian TV and film industry and where it's headed and growing and does go that way?
I used to really dislike Canadian TV. And I'll be honest with you, it was because it looked like garbage. It was horrible. It's not that way anymore. Canadian TV has taken a lot of leaps. Where she plays clones. I can't believe
Black, yeah.
Black is super impressive. It looks great. It's a great show. She was nominated for an Emmy. I was a little pissed off for a while that big, huge American productions would come here and shoot and look a certain way and have a certain status to them, and then I'd watch Canadian shows. I'm like, this just looks so cheap. What's wrong? And the nice thing is, Canadian production is catching up. It looks good now. There are good creative people in Toronto, and we're starting to take pride in that and want to work on Canadian projects. I was saying we shot what we're releasing on Tuesday with Canadians, really super talented Canadians, and if everything goes to plan, we'll shoot the rest of it in Canada. We'll post in Canada. We'll hire Canadians. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to, I feel like it would mean a lot to you guys. So many great things shoot here. Why not Canadian things? Flash right here.
Okay, how did it feel to be on the set of Flash?
My first time?
Yeah.
You know, it was funny. I came in episode 3, so they had shot the pilot, and then they came back for episode 2. You have like a couple month break in between. And I got there for episode 3, and I knew everybody better than they did because it was the entire crew from the Tomorrow People. It felt like coming back for a weird season 2, but like I walked in and I introduced myself to the Flash cast because I hadn't met any of them. I had met Grant maybe once or twice before that. And then I walk in and I'm giving all the crew hugs. I'm like walking over and they're all excited to see me. And I can see some of the cast members going like, and I was like, oh, we worked on Tomorrow People together. So it was actually, that's one of my favorite parts about going back to shoot The Flash is that it kind of feels like home. It's people that I spent 9 months of my life and my career building this relationship with, and it's always a lot of hugs and a lot of catching up, and it's just a really good group of people there. Thanks.
Thanks for your questions, guys.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, come by tomorrow and check out Cody on Tuesday.
Thank you.